show. Today, we are once again joined by Kirk's Corner. If you haven't gotten the opportunity, please head over to Kirk's channel, subscribe, watch some videos, help him get monetized, guys. He is getting awfully close to the 4 hours of watch time. Actually, if you haven't, I know you guys watch my channel. You watch the two of us do our weekly Hasbro review videos, but I think Kirk does put some of our videos over on his channel as well. Even if you've already watched it over on our channel, here on White's channel, you'll go to his channel, watch that video again. Even
Yeah,
if you're not sitting down watching it, let that video play through.
yeah.
Help him get those hours of watch time as well, and really help him build up that those watch hours.
I
So
do want to say too, I have a under my posts on my
yeah,
channel. If you click the post tab, the very first post, the last post I made, it I have a link to GoFundMe. If anybody has even $1, I'm trying to build up money to be able to get my own place for the first time in my 42 and a half years on this earth. So I know a couple people donated like $5 so far, and if you're that person, I greatly appreciate it. Yeah,
oh,
50 cents, a quarter, $1, whatever it'll let you do. That would be fucking. Or excuse my language. That would be amazing.
you're moving out.
I'm trying, but I need to get the money to be able to put a down payment on something or get an apartment. So that's why I started the GoFundMe. The
Gotcha.
disability I'm on, the SSDI money I get is not
Yeah.
enough. I get like 800 some dollars a month. That is not enough. So I need a little help. So that's why I started to GoFundMe.
People have told me about that, especially when I started the MRW line. Like, hey, man, why don't you try and ask the community for some support? See if anybody will donate to help fund the project.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of like GoFundMe before. Like the first time I ever heard go about GoFundMe is obviously through YouTube because everybody on like YouTube and TikTok were like, hey, like all these people were like donating to this project, this GoFundMe thing. I'm like, what the hell is a GoFundMe? Like I never
Right.
heard of that stuff before, and like people were like donating like. What was that kid's name? That stabbed that other kid to death because he wouldn't move out of. Uh,
I
I
don't
want to talk about.
remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, like and he got like $1 million, and
Yeah,
his,
that's
his
the thing.
parents.
You get people are getting donations and a lot of money that don't really need it or they shouldn't be, and people that need it are having a hard time getting a couple bucks.
Yeah, so I looked at that. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, come on now. That's criminal activity, and that's being supported. That makes no sense to me. So,
Right.
yeah, man, I'm rooting for you. Hopefully, it's successful,
I appreciate it.
hopefully, and someone sees this video, and that's you'll get something, man. I'm rooting for you, bud.
The link's under my post on Kirk's Corner. So if you click the post link, it'll be the last post I put on there with the link to my GoFundMe. So like I said, if
Right
you have
on.
$1, you can donate $2. That'd be great. I just want to be able to try to get an apartment or something. Like I've never had a chance to get on my own, and I'm almost 43 years old. So it's anything would help.
I understand, man. Right on. Hey, Nora, welcome to the show. So, today, guys, we are diving into Hasbro's Series 9. And this is the 1994 release. Now, this is the second of four releases in 1994. Now, the Purple Card series, I would probably call this a 90, I'd probably call this a mid-level series release. And technically, with the Series 9 release, I would probably rate this a lot higher of the echelon of series releases through Hasbro if they produced a lot more figures than what they did. Now, yes, you could say, well, there were six figures released. Series 6 through Series 9, they were all six figures releases. But technically, that's inaccurate. Series 9 is technically the smallest releases of figures released produced by Hasbro because even though there's six figures in Series 9, there's technically only five because Tatanka is a re-release on Purple Card, and Tatanka came out in Series 6 on Blue Card, the original release, and changing the card back does not make it a new figure.
Right.
If they changed it to a jumper, if they changed it to a arm slamming motion, if they changed it to a right extended arm instead of a dual extended arm,
Mhm.
something, if they changed the paint scheme, that would have made it a whole new figure in my eyes. That would have been acceptable.
Right.
Re-releasing the exact same figure and a very random, odd character at that made absolutely no sense to me. So, uh, technically, you're only getting 5 characters in Series 6 with the re-release of Tatanka. So that's why I say Series 9 at best is a mid-level series released by Hasbro. But you take that away, overall, this is a great series. These are technically very expensive figures. Oddly enough, Scott Steiner is probably one of the more affordable figures. At least when I sell it, it's more affordable. Like, and we'll talk about him when we get to that piece. But let's get to the comments here.
But
Jana, how you doing?
Scott Steiner you can get on card for like $100.
What, Scott Steiner? I mean, for MOC maybe, but not for a loose figure.
No, I'm talking
Loose,
MOC. I'm talking MOC.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, on card. I mean, those would probably go 100, 125, 150 maybe, but
Not 150. Like you're looking at 100, not much more. I saw most of
nowadays,
them I've seen are about 100. I sold
nowadays
mine for I think
maybe.
100 on the button.
Hey, what's going on, Sonia? Welcome to the show. Steve, what's happening, buddy? Welcome. Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah, I think when I started collecting in like 2021, I think my purple card, Scott Steiner, yeah, I probably paid like a good $150 for it.
You got it.
Like,
You
I don't think
overpaid
it,
on that guy.
yeah, and I don't think the card was that great either. I probably had a couple, and I probably sold one, and the one I kept was not that great. In fact, I probably have a second one still in my display case. Plus I have one hanging up. I have one in the display case, but that card is like completely sun faded. So there's like no point of me selling it because I'll never get back what I paid into it. So it's just there.
Right. Would
But
you pay into it if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, that was good 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. I have no idea.
All right. The only reason I was asking is I need one on card.
I mean, I'll probably say $100. I mean, I'm give or take. I mean, I'm guessing.
Right. Okay.
But the figure I do want to start off for today is probably one of the greatest Hasbros of the entire line. And I could make that argument with pretty much any figure, but probably definitely the best figure from Series 9. And it is Rick Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on who you are talking to, Rick Steiner technically could be a top 10 best Hasbro. Now, me, I might put him in the top 15. I definitely would have to say he's a top 20 best Hasbro. Display wise, great piece. I mean, the singlet isn't like the greatest, color scheme in the world, but I mean, it's a
Yeah,
solid overall piece.
I like that color scheme. I think it's like I don't know, it just pops, man. It reminds me of something in the early '90s. You'd see, the coloring and stuff. I like it.
Absolutely, and of course, I kind of feel like the Steiner Brothers Galoobs, that I had when I was a kid. I always mixed and match Galoobs with Hasbro's. Oh, those little bootleg dollar store Remco style figures.
I hate,
we were like
I
five and a
hated
half
them.
inches.
Yeah, yeah, I remember those.
I mixed those in with Hasbro's and Galoobs when I was a kid, during play. So, I mean, I used whatever was available. So
Right.
if I had this, and Scott Steiner Hasbro as a kid, that would have been fantastic. But this came out 94, so at that point, I was already way done with playing with wrestling figures. And
Mhm.
that just shows you how limited my play as a kid was. Like between, let's say, 1990, 92, 93, that was basically my play for as a kid. Between ages 5 and 7, maybe 5 to 8, which sucks. So when I go back and I watch all these nostalgia channels and yeah, man, I was playing with toys until I was 12, 14, 15. I'm like, Shoot, man, like my childhood sucked when out for play as a kid because toy was I was probably playing with toys between like ages 5 and 7. That was about it. Like I didn't really play with toys a lot. Like uh, I talked about in the past. Around 1993, what was super huge in 93 as an 8-year-old? Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I became obsessed with Power Rangers. I collected all the toys, but I never played with them. They were just there. They're something I collected because I was a fan of the show. I displayed them, but like they were nothing I really had interest in playing with. You know, they were just like I said, I wanted them because I was a fan of the show. But once that show came out, I pretty much stopped with wrestling figures and stuff. I still watched wrestling. I was still a huge fan of wrestling up until like 97, 98. But once baseball became like an obsession of mine around 96, 97, and by the time 98 rolled around, like I was massively baseball obsessed. So, baseball became my sport of obsession. So I no longer had interest in wrestling at that point. So it took me, decades to to get back into wrestling. And I think more to the point in the in the early 2000 or 2020s when I got into collecting, it was more about the enjoyment of collecting the wrestling figures than the wrestling matches themselves. Because I still, even today, when I try to put on a Raw or a Royal Rumble or something like that, right? And I try to get into these matches, I try to watch them, it still feels like a soap opera to me. And I
See,
think that's the whole.
I enjoy it, man. I really enjoy watching the old matches. I still feel like I did when I was a kid watching them. If it's the old stuff.
Yeah, but that's the whole. I think that's the reason why when I was, a teenager, why I stopped watching it. It just stopped being about the sport and the storytelling. It just started becoming more of a soap opera, and it lost its intrigue to me. So,
Right.
uh,
Ugh.
and to Mister YouTube over here, we're growing with toys. Hey, buddy, I'm just saying this much. You're
Haters
watching
are
the
gonna
video,
hate.
so you must enjoy it as well. So,
You know what's funny though? These
hey,
people
what's
that
up,
make
Al?
those comments, I bet you they have no idea how much these toys are really worth.
Exactly. So
I
that's the
guarantee
tough
you,
part.
what's on my wall could buy your car. YouTube sucks 5. If I was to sell those, if you don't believe me, look them up on eBay. You'll start to your jaw will drop when you see what these go for unopened from the early '90s. So apparently, if they're going for a lot of money, a lot of people enjoy buying them. So
Yeah. Hey, Sonia, welcome to the show. Oh, no, it's funny though, and it's just the type of person that's making the videos though. Um, if I was Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting right here and making these videos, nobody's coming into the comments, making those statements. I'm just putting that out there because 250,000 people get on to Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. They watch Matt Cardona and Sterling and Canic, whatever the hell the guy's name is, all those guys, and go Google Gaga over their show. And they should. They're collectors, they're professional wrestlers, etc. Uh, do you ever see anybody go bash a Matt Cardona, be like, grown men collecting toys? Why?
not
Can you think of somebody is going to fucking badmouth a fucking Matt Cardona and have him freaking show up to that guy's door one day? Hey, you in my
But that,
comments, to
that's
making
the
that stuff.
funniest.
That's funny as
What
shit.
you're saying that cracks me up because if people are afraid to say something because he's muscular, that don't mean nothing, man. Muscles
That
mean
that
nothing. Hell,
that
I
but
could
that's
do just. I'm proud. I could do way more damage than a Cardona could do. Trust me on that one.
but that's exactly what it is,
So these people might want to watch who they talk to. If you think you shouldn't talk to someone like that because they're muscular, and the little guy you think you can talk bad to, okay, if you say so, brother. We're not
But
always caring about the law, if you catch my drift.
But it's fun because I come on here, I wear long sleeve shirts, whatever. But like Matt Cardona, he comes onto his shows and he's got a wife beater on, and he's got he's muscular, he's built, whatnot. So,
I've seen dudes Matt Cardona size get knocked out in one punch by dudes my size.
but that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
When I see a comment like that, it's funny to talk about, and I enjoy this conversation right now because it's a good topic, it's good comedy, and I'm not mad because I know exactly why they do it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just
Oh, it's
trying
all
to.
good. I don't have no problem with it. The guy wasn't too
No,
bad. His comments,
no,
he ain't talking too much crap. It is what it is.
no.
I don't even mind because I'm not gonna lie. About 6 years now, about 2018, I wasn't collecting. I did the same thing. I went in a guy's chat who was collecting, and I was like laughing at him for doing it. And then I ended up catching the bug, and now look. So you know,
I mean, I'm right there with you. Prior to what was it, September, October 2021?
yeah. People don't
I
realize, and let me say this: people don't realize it's not about just toys, and that's what makes me mad. It's the
Yeah,
nostalgia. I don't just collect toys. I collect wrestling T-shirts that are vintage, video games, anything that
yeah,
I grew up with. I collect because I like to live that again. I want to relive my childhood again. It
yeah.
keeps me sane and out of trouble. And I don't want to get in political shit, but I just want to say, in today's world, I gotta have an escape. If not, I'll end up in prison. So I enjoy collecting things I grew up with that I owned as a kid, and that is what it is.
And that's a hot spot right there. Movies and video games. That's like another hot topic as well.
I
Nobody's
collect
bashing
everything.
about collecting movies and video games either. So,
If I grew
or
up
or
with it,
vintage
I
clothing.
probably own it again. It brings me fucking happiness. Like a person might like collecting cars. Okay, I enjoy collecting my childhood stuff.
I try not to yuck someone's yum. That's funny. uh, at one point, I had when I was in Texas, I had a cowboy boot collection. I mean, it wasn't massive, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I had a little bit of a collection going there. When I moved to Kentucky, obviously, I stopped that collection because it really wasn't. It did behoove me to have a cowboy collection in Kentucky. I didn't really feel the need to keep that going, but you're right there in Central Texas. It's like, man, you just have options, so much access to. I forgot the damn place I used to go to, but damn, they had this massive freaking store of just cowboy boots galore, like so freaking awesome. But damn
Yeah.
cowboy boots, those damn suckers are expensive as hell, though, right? They're like
Mm-hmm.
two, three, $400 for a pair of boots. I'm like, so a lot of times when I was buying these boots, I had to buy the cheap ones, like $125, $150 a pair. But at least the job I had, I could afford them. But I mean, I
Right.
wasn't going for those down two, $300 pair of boots. That's just massive. But
Right.
but
Look,
that
I got
was
it.
fun.
Sorry, I'm looking for something. All right. Well, anyway, we went way off topic, so sorry about that. Let's go back onto the Hasbro. So we were talking Rick Steiner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're pretty much off on Rick right now. But I mean, it's a short show. We only have, like I said, we only have six figures, so we're probably
Yeah.
gonna have like an hour show. So it's nice to kind of have like these little one-offs here and there, just to
If
kind of
we
make the
ever
show
go
go a little
off
bit longer.
topic too long, guys, and you don't like it, just remind us, hey guys, you're off topic.
We'll embrace my.
Because I know the Matt Cardona's podcast, they do that sometimes. They'll go like way off topic for long periods of time.
Yeah, I saw that when I was watching one of their shows the other day, and well, now they're probably last week, and someone's like, "Why do you guys go for like 2, 3 hours?" I'm like, I mean, I don't sit there, I don't watch their shows all the time. Like, I might get notifications that their shows are live, and I might watch a few minutes worth, go like read through the comments or something. But I don't know. Like, there's certain YouTubers I watch in our direct community, but like I don't know, like their show that doesn't really interest me all that much. Occasionally, if somebody recommends something that they're talking about, I'll tune in to watch. But it has to be like directly interested topics of interest, but
Yeah,
anyways, guys,
I used to put his show on before bed. Like I would just turn it on, let my phone charge, and play, and I would try to go to sleep. But I started noticing I don't mind off topic stuff, but it was like an hour long off topic stuff, and I was like, man, I came here for the Hasbros. Like I don't mind going off topic, but we've been off topic for over an hour, man.
yeah. Really, people that collect other wrestling figures, etc. Absolutely, man, 100%. So for Series 9, and I was just talking about this briefly, and you can't have the Steiner brothers, you can't have Rick without Scott, right?
Right, right,
And
right,
this
right.
figure bothers me because I always have a Scott Steiner loose. And Scott Steiner, he's like the Series 3 yellow Mr. Perfect. Now, why do I say that? I kind of feel like a Rick Steiner, or I'm sorry, I kind of feel like a yellow Mr. Perfect Series 3, and I feel like a Series 9 Scott Steiner. Exact same body type, right? Same mold. Both figures, in my opinion, should be $40 figures. Easy. Loose. Loose figures. Should be easy $40 figures. But as a seller, so frustrating. As a seller, I normally top out at about $15 when I sell these suckers. Infuriating. And I've
Sorry.
sold about a ton of them, and I normally get about 15 bucks. And I know when other people on eBay, Mercari sell these suckers, I know they're getting $25, $40 for these things. And I always am so curious, what is it about other, do they just hold on to these figures and just whenever people come with offers, like, no, I'm not selling it? Or are they just putting it on 99-cent auctions and just letting those suckers ride until they sell? Because I don't, I've talked about, I don't like 99-cent auctions because you put something up for 99 cents and you want to get 20 bucks for it and it sells for $5.25 and you're frustrated as hell. No. If I want it, if I say, hey, I'm comfortable $15, I'll put it at a starting auction of $15.
You know what
If
I
I
noticed about Rick? I don't know if
was
you paid attention to this. Every time I see a Rick Steiner on eBay, he's almost nearly mint. I don't know if people just didn't play with him or what, but I got him off eBay. He was mint, but when I seem to come across him on eBay, they're always his singlets always like perfect on him.
well, I also think that, again, Series 9 was right towards the end, and not many people had Series 9.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're on eBay, so someone had to have owned them. They're loose, but they are all
Yeah,
mint.
but it's the same thing with Giant Gonzalez. I mean, Giant Gonzalez, like 99.9% of the time, if not 100% of the time, is a mint figure. Like,
Yeah,
you never see a damaged Giant Gonzalez figure. It's just one of those pieces where
I mean
either
he's
someone has never had it, or when they did have it, they never played with it.
right.
So,
Just
but
weird. I would assume he would have got heavy play. You know what I mean? I didn't have him as a kid, but if I did, I would have probably played with him a lot. He's like a perfect figure.
yeah.
You know?
So,
I would have loved to have had these two as a kid and do tag team matches. You know,
yeah,
I don't think the only tag team figures I had were the Rockers and the Bushwhackers.
yeah, just the
And I
rockers
think
for me
Hasbro they could have made more money if they would have released these also
as a tag
in
team.
a tag teams like together like they did with the
Yeah,
Bushwhackers and all. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Hey, Bana. So, when you say the wrestling figures in action, what do you mean in that respect? Are you asking about their action features, or let's
That's cool.
see?
I'm not gonna lie. I look at my stuff as an investment when I buy them. On top of the having them as something that I had as a kid, but when I pay the money I pay, I like yeah, that's gonna be an investment.
Well, I mean, look at how you invested in your Undertaker, and you
Mm,
reallocated that
yeah,
investment into your arcade.
yeah,
So
yeah. Uh, I didn't
I mean,
buy
yeah,
that to do that, but yeah, that's a perfect example. The red
but
card Undertaker, I had
but
mint
think
on the
about
card.
think about it
Over
this
the
way.
winter, I
If
sold it
you
on eBay, made a few $100 extra. Plus, I got the money back I put into it. I was able to get the arcade, the WWE Super, was it the Superstars, and what's the other game it came with? WrestleFest. Is that it?
but that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm saying. If you have $600 and you put it into a bank account, into a savings, and you let it sit there for a month, that's
Mm-hmm.
$600 with interest. I mean, you're gonna get what? A month later, that $600 is gonna turn into like 601 and a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I have a Undertaker Series 8 mint on card and I buy it for $600 today, maybe tomorrow I could sell that sucker for $800.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right off the bat. There's my profit. There's my interest. So uh, that's what I'm talking about. That's your moneymaker. That is your profit. So that's your investment.
I have to look at these as an investment because I don't have the money to be like, oh, whatever. This is all my money's tied up in this stuff. So I have to look at it as an investment on top of other things I look at it as.
Just this morning for giggles. Oh shoot, what am I doing? I looked at what $12 put into the 1984 would be worth $12.50. mm.
Hasbro's brand new in the early '90s were three $4.99. I'm looking at the price sticker from Toys R Us. KB charged the most. I think KB had them at $6.99. LJNs, if I remember right, because I saw a few in store. I think they were around $4 or $5, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So Steve was asking what makes a figure more popular as far as value. I mean, obviously, a rarity of a figure obviously makes it more valuable. If you look at a Series 2 Dusty Rhodes, even loose, Dusty Rhodes was already out of WWF when that figure was released. So, in terms of that card, there weren't a lot produced because once he was out, that card was pulled off the shelves. So there weren't as many Series 2 Dusty Road figures produced. So quantity wise, that makes that figure, especially carded, a whole lot more rare.
Mm-hmm.
Series 11 green cards over here that we can't see them, but the Series 11 green cards weren't mass produced the same way all the other series were produced. So the rarity of those cards make them so valuable. That's why all the green cards are ranging anywhere between 400 to $2,000. 1, 2, 3 kid carded goes for $1,200 to $2,500. I mean, hopefully the price has gone down, since I started collecting, but doubtful. But loose 1, 2, 3 kid, one of the worst, fighting poses ever with the whole Ric Flair, Rick Rude punching feature, which sucks. Even loose, that's a $600 to $1,200 figure, which is insane. That's why with the green cards, I went custom route for most of those darn things. But I mean, it really depends on what it is. Like a Black Pants Shawn Michaels Series 10 is a $125 figure, whereas a White Pants Shawn Michaels in Series 7 is more like a $30 to $40 figure. So a Bret Hart Series 8 is like a $90 to $125 figure, where a Series 4 Bret Hart pink heart on the shirt is more like a $20 to $40 figure.
Yeah.
It's just a more common figure. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you got anything Series 1, Series 2, a Series 1 Jake Roberts, a Series 1 Brutus Beefcake, a Series 2 Jim Duggan. You're talking about probably three of the most common figures that's ever existed. I mean, those figures were like 99-cent auctions with free shipping type of deal. That's how, or Big Boss Man Series 1. Those are $1 figures.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Some of these
you got-
figures though are more than others because of the fact they're how many were released, how many were bought and kept on the card, so on and so forth too. Some people don't understand. If say there were $5 a piece, Fly the L says with today's prices, $5 would be like 205. Yeah, but then you got to factor in, was that figure you might be looking at on card, how many still exist on the card? So you got to add that value into the pot, how many were released of that specific character. The characters nobody wanted, believe it or not, are usually the ones worth the most because
yeah,
there weren't a lot released and nobody bought. You would think, well, if no one's buying them, then there would be a lot more on card, but just it's the opposite usually. The ones that no one really bought or they weren't popular characters, those are usually worth pretty good money too.
yeah,
Like and as far as opening goes, I can't open something I spent $300-$400 on because once you open that thing, you're now losing at least half of the value you just spent. Like this figure,
absolutely.
I opened him because I had two of them, and it was hard to do because I lost over $100 opening him. He's fresh out of the package, is doing. But I had doubles of him, but I had to realize once I opened him, now I've just lost. I think I paid like $200 for him. I just lost it easily 100 or a little more dollars from that doing.
And that's why if I'm ever looking for, obviously, I used to always buy two sets, right? One for my carded collection, one for a loose collection. But I'm like, I could never buy. Well, for the new stuff, it's fine. Like if I'm going grapplers gimmicks, KWK something like that, it's fine because it's new stuff. But if I was going for like an LJN or a Hasbro or a Galoob, I'm not going out buying a Sid Vicious mint on card Galoob and opening it up just to have a mint Sid Vicious figure. No, I'm not doing that. I'm looking online and I'm looking for a mint Galoob Sid Vicious or one that's in pretty good
Right.
condition for my loose collection.
There's some
If I'm
people that
looking,
do that. There's a guy on YouTube who does buy them on card just to open and have the mintiest loose collection. But you might have a lot of money to be able to do that. I don't have the money like that to be able to just constantly lose money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars doing that.
and that's not for me. Like I don't care if there's like paint loss on the butt or something. Like I'm okay. Like hey, just
Right,
just to have
right.
a flavor for the collection.
As
Like if
long
I'm
as
doing
I
a
got
review
one
video or
on
something, that's
card,
fine.
I don't care if my loose figure has some paint loss because I know I have a mint one on my wall on the card. You know what I mean? So I don't even need to go find a mint loose one because I have one on card. So as long as I have a loose and a carded, that's all I care about.
Absolutely. All right, so moving on to the next figure, and this one has recently jumped into my top 10 favorite. Uh, Obviously, back in 2022, I did a top 10 countdown of my top 10 favorite Hasbros, and originally this one was not in my top 10. I would have said that this is probably the top 12, top 13 originally. But I think since then I've changed my opinion, and there's probably one figure I probably knocked out of my top 10 and replaced it with this one. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah,
So I keep making this argument. And I say that the Series 2 Jim Duggan,
that's a
this
pricey
one right
figure
here.
right there too.
Yeah,
That
so
purple
this
part
so Series
hacksaw
2
is
Jim
very
Duggan
pricey.
is, in my opinion, a top 10 worst Hasbro. But the Series 9 Jim Duggan
This one.
is arguably a top 10 best Hasbro. Now, the only difference, obviously, outside of the blonde hair, which is a huge upgrade, obviously, I like that fact. I also love the fact that they gave him, the painted singlet and whatnot.
Yeah.
But so I always say that clothing, accessories, stuff like that, it makes a world of difference. I always say that Jim Duggan is probably one of, if not the best playable go-to wrestling action figure in the entire Hasbro line. There's nothing wrong with the Series 2 Hasbro figure. Like I said, go-to figure. It's the only thing wrong with it. It is a very generic, simple, plain figure. Boots
Mm,
and trunks. That's it. But once you throw on all of this extra color and detail to it, bam, it makes that figure pop. It is incredible. It is a beautiful piece. And you take the Series 2 top 10 worst to Series 9 top 10 best. And it's such a perfect piece.
mm.
And is this one signed? This one is not. I thought I had a signed Duggan, but one of my absolute favorites.
That's one
Now,
I'm still hunting for on the card, but every time I see it in person at toy shows, they're looking for $350, $400. I'm like, I can't justify that on a purple card figure, so I'll wait until I can get one for
not
200, maybe 250 at the most. I would pay on a
yeah,
card.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Not no $400 for that to Jim Duggan. I'd say 250 would be. I'd say about 250 would be fair.
Because I mean,
On
I
a
don't
high
get.
end.
Yeah, he's got an accessory. Accessory figures always people think they're worth so much more. I mean, the accessories a really cheap piece of plastic American flag. I mean, it's cool looking, but it's not anything special. This
Yeah,
one is the flag he came with. Fun fact: this flag was first in GI Joe. It came with a GI Joe figure. They then repackaged it with him, but they changed the handle a little bit. So this is the GI Joe version flag. So it won't
nice.
fit in that little hole that's in his hand, but it's the same exact flag that's with the carded version.
Let's see because
The
you know, GM.
same flag.
So I
This
was talking
flag
about.
is like way too expensive to buy on eBay, the accessory for this. So I
Yeah, I mean,
figured it was the
there's
same
a
one. The GI Joe one is the same. It just doesn't fit in his hands. So this is good enough for me.
AL. You've seen my basement, man. Like I put these cards on my doors. I put them all over my walls. I actually had to build this have a guy come in and actually build me a ledge, man, all down this wall so I could hang stuff from the ledges. So and I even went in. I went to where did I go to? Home Depot, I think, or Lowe's or something. And I had all these darn shelves I got made. I put these all up. So that's because I had to make all this freaking extra space so I could store all the stuff. And I built this beautiful freaking museum down here, which is awesome. But now, once I ran out of space, what I have to do, I had to start using that storage room and have shelves built in there, which are beautiful, fancy, shelving like so. And then once I ran out of space out there, what I do, I started using my damn garage. But I'm not expanding any further. I put up those pegboards. I'm not trying to make it look like a damn retail store with the pegboards, but that's it, man. I'm not expanding any further. I got that spare bedroom upstairs that I have for like the 90s nostalgia, the 90s superheroes collection stuff up there, mixed in with a lot of horror themed stuff. But I've shut down with adding on to the collection. Once I've got into the Maniac Right Wrestling stuff, I need to focus on that a whole lot more. So, uh, hey, if anybody out there, man, if anybody knows anything about customizers who know how to build templates, because everybody I'm trying to reach out to, they're either trying to charge me like $400, $500 to build a darn LJN carding, and this right here, I just need somebody to create a template for this. I don't need the design. We have a design for the card back. I don't need somebody. I don't need a customizer to create a card design. I just literally need this template, right? Create a little J hook or whatever, or I don't have a big rubber guy with me, but that's all I need, right? And you would think just to put that into a PDF file so that I could, send that to the factory. and have this little outline. I could send them the pictures. They would take my image. They would slap that image on top of that template, and we would be good. We'll be golden. I mean, I don't have those skills. I don't know how to do that computer stuff. So you think that'd be like a $20 project or something, but no, people want to be like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do AI stuff, or I want to charge you $500. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you trying to do? This is, I mean, I have to imagine if these guys are experts, if they're graphic designers, that they know exactly what they're doing. Why is that $500 worth of work? This is exactly why I'm not why so many people are going through AI and not paying, professionals to design their artwork, because they're ripping people off hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and somebody could design something in a matter of minutes for free. Like, insane, right? So it's become really frustrating. And what's holding me up at the factory with Maniac Riot Wrestling right now is a freaking carding, and it's such a simple process because everything is complete. But I mean, I talk about it on my live shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about it today, guys, but I wanted to bring it up in case anybody in the comments today or in the viewership knows anybody or can do it yourself. Please let me know. I need help with that big time. But all right, folks. Moving on to my least favorite figure of Series 9, Tatanka. Freaking Tatanka, man. Like, why? Like, I don't even mind the fact that they came out with Tatanka. I just would have loved if they actually gave him a repaint or changed the mold or something. I mean, Hasbro has like 7 or 8 different molds. There's like 5 primary molds that they use on almost all their figures. Why couldn't they just give him a different figure altogether? Take this head, slap it onto a different body, call it a day. But this right here is just sheer laziness. But he betrayed Lex Luger. He joined the $1 Million Corporation. And who are you getting in Series 9? Your third release of the $1 Million Man, right? So I kind of understand why they went with Tatanka, because if you're getting $1 Million Man, you could throw in another character from the $1 Million Corporation. Last series, Series 8, we saw Bam Bam Bigelow, another member of the $1 Million Corporation. I mean, I figured if Bam Bam wasn't in Series 8, maybe he would have been in Series 9, and he would have been right alongside $1 Million Man. But this was stupid. This was a worthless release.
Yeah.
And a purple card is actually far more expensive than a blue card.
I don't understand that. Why is that?
Because it's a different card and it's a re-release.
I figured the OG would be a little bit more pricier than the re-release version.
No, shoot, man, I don't know what I don't remember what I paid for the original, but I don't think I paid a lot of money for the Series 6 blue card. Like, I probably could have gotten it for like as little as $60 maybe. But like, I'm thinking like the purple card probably was like $90 maybe.
Right.
Like, I'm guessing. Like I bought these long time ago, so I'm spitballing. I'm throwing out guesses.
My carded one, the blue card, I bought from you.
The Tonka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I actually got that one from a seller overseas. That Tatanka one, so that was pretty awesome to get that one in. But it was a duplicate, so I really didn't need an extra one. So having you buy that one for me was pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's got a little hairline crack in the bubble, but
Did it?
Is what it is, yeah.
Did we know that before we shipped it out, or?
I don't think so, but I wasn't worried about it. It's still fine.
That's cool. All right, so this one is an awesome figure, and even though I still prefer the original Series 2, this one is arguably one of the best figures. Again, we keep saying this, but $1 Million Man.
You're gonna say Doink, yeah. $1 Million Man.
Because the Series 2 $1 Million Man is the $1 Million Man from childhood. Obviously, when you talk about my favorite figure, I go with the green suit $1 Million Man as my personal favorite. But what I like about this one, it is signed. And I tell you, man, like so many figures that I get from the $1 Million Man, I have is signed. I have this Hasbro figure signed. I have his LJN card signed. I have his Jack's Pacific figure that's like a championship belt with the white suited figure right next to it signed. So like I have all of these different $1 Million Man figures signed, which is awesome. And you guys know I don't go to any shows or anything like that, right? So like I buy these figures from eBay, Mercari, whatever, and they come signed. But this one actually came with the actual COA, certificate of authenticity. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's signed. Did you know when you bought it, it was signed or no? I know
yeah,
sometimes you. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. This one was I bought this from a seller in Canada,
I think you
and it
told
came
me
with the.
before though you got a couple signed and you didn't even realize it was signed until you got it.
I, well, I probably knew when I bought it, but like it's sitting on the wall, and I just like the Bret Hart Series 8.
Yeah.
I probably knew that it was signed when I bought it, but like it's sitting on the wall. It slipped my mind. And you asked me like, hey, oh, hey, I pick it off the wall. Oh, hey, this Bret Hart is signed. Like I would have forgotten over the months and so on that hey, I had a signed Bret Hart, but I'm pretty sure I knew it was signed when I bought it originally. But a lot of times when you get the $1 Million Man, you gotta look for the dollar sign on both the side of his boots, and you can't see it really well, but also on the side of his trunks.
There you go. Yeah, I got the loose one right here
Yeah.
with the gold.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you do get a $1 Million Man with the dollar signs on both sides of his boots and both sides of his trunks, you're looking at roughly a $60 to $75 figure because that is basically a complete, probably a mint figure. You could arguably call it.
Yeah, that gold is
Now,
always rubbed off of this figure. He's very hard to find with the money signs intact.
yeah, like I'm looking at this one for example. Um, yeah, this one has it too. I mean, it's not as good. I mean, it's kind of faded a little bit, but if you have a $1 Million Man and let's say the dollar signs are completely faded off, I mean, he's still a good $35 figure, maybe even 40. But obviously, collectors they want the full complete piece.
Yeah.
Uh I actually have a $1 Man on my eBay right now with like the right punching arm is broken off.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a valuable figure. Like even broken, that is a valuable figure. I just don't know how to repair that. And I was
I
hoping,
got this. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I was hoping a customizer would bid on it and take it off my hands because I don't know how to repair that stuff, and it doesn't do me any good here having a broken piece.
Just put some
And
glue on that and glue the arm in place.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping that someone will do. They'll buy it, they'll glue it up either for display purposes or whatnot. Um, Originally, I didn't know what to list that for. I put it up for like $35, like a couple months ago, and I've been coming down in price ever since. And I've dropped it all the way down to $15 now. But like I'm getting offers for like $10. I'm like, even with a broken arm, that is not a $10 figure. Like
Right.
a customizer can fix the arm, even if they glue the arm back on and it's just stays in place, doesn't move. That is still going to be a $30 to $40 figure, even with a non-movable arm. So I'm like, no, man, I'm not taking $10 on that. Come on, let's be
I
realistic about this.
I got this. I got him for $15 at the toy show a few years ago. Man, I was shocked that the guy was asking that
Yeah,
because his
that's
all.
because
I
that's
mean, he
number.
looks like he's fresh out of the package too.
You see, I need to come to Maryland because you got guys out there that do not know the value of these figures, and that's
Some
awesome.
of the vendors they don't know. They're just oh, I had a box of figures when I was a kid, and that the guy I got them from was a little bit younger than me, and he said these were from my childhood. They were out in my shed for the last 25 years. I just thought I would set a table up and sell them. He didn't know what they were worth. Like the red
Man, that
card
is
Bret
so fucking
Hart, I
awesome.
got that red card Bret Hart from him. I think it was like $20.
Oh
So
man,
yeah,
I'm telling you. You said you have another show in like June or something, right?
yeah. June is the next show. It's twice a year. It's June and November.
You see, this is what frustrates me about that stupid about the factory, because I was really hoping to have that bone breaking action figure ready, because it would be awesome to come out to Maryland and go to that Maryland what is it called, Maryland Toy Expo.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd
Maryland
be
Toy
cool
Expo.
to come out, come visit and set up a show and actually have those figures laid out and see if we could sell any of that stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm going to this one because I didn't make last year's show, so
Yeah.
I got to go because I haven't bought a card at Hasbro in probably like a year now. So I got to start getting the rest of what I need to complete the collection. So I'll be going there in June to get a couple card Hasbros and hopefully a Mega Man or Mega Man 2 NES game complete in the box.
Mega Man. Did I didn't get you send you that Mega Man, did I? Or
Yeah, you did. I
was it
paid you for it. I just now I'm looking for it
no, no,
complete in
no.
the
I
box.
knew there was a game I sent you out, but I wasn't sure if it was Mega Man or if it was
It was
something
Mega Man.
else.
It was Mega Man, the first Mega Man. Yeah, but I need it now. I need the box for it in the manual. That game's like a $600 game if you had it complete in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to, or at least I was trying to buy like all these different NES games, but like at this point, I'm not interested in just cartridges. Like you said, I'm looking for the complete deal. If it came with a poster, I want the poster. I want the package. I want the manual. I want everything.
Right.
Um, I'm not like the cartridge alone. It doesn't do anything for me. So,
Yeah. See, I have the cartridges too because I play them. But if
yeah,
I find it complete in the box, I'll take my loose copy to the brick and mortar store I shop at, and I'll trade that in for something else because I don't need two copies. I wish I
yeah,
could afford two copies so I could keep one in the box and then I could play. Because it's a pain to open those boxes and get the game out because they're so brittle, some of them. But
yeah.
I don't have the money to be able to have doubles of the games and shit.
Right, I got you.
Like I just picked up while we're on the subject of that real quick. Last week I just picked up Super Punch Out for Super Nintendo in box. That was
Yeah.
170. I paid $170. So I have
Mm,
that now complete in the box. I got Ninja Gaiden for Nintendo complete in the box yesterday. And Blades of Steel. I think I did a video on that one. But yeah, I just picked up a few. And I didn't know this existed, that you can play Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. It's like a cartridge that you pop the Game Boy game into. It's been out since the 90s. I just never knew it existed. So I was playing that wrestling Game Boy game I have on my Super Nintendo yesterday. It's a good game, man.
that is freaking cool.
It's called a Super Game Boy. It's a cartridge. In the middle, it's hollowed out so you can put your Game Boy game in there. Then you put the cartridge into Super Nintendo and turn it on, and it reads the Game Boy game on your TV from your Super Nintendo. So you get you get that color, all that stuff. So I never
You're
knew
not
it
gonna look that
existed
up now,
until
because I got that wrestling game you were playing the other day on
it
your
is a good
on your
game,
channel.
dude. It is such a good game compared to the Nintendo ones, like the regular
Yeah,
Nintendo. It's awesome. If you get a Super Game Boy and a Super Nintendo, oh, you have the thing that plays Super Nintendo games. Get a
yeah,
Super Game Boy and you can play your Game Boy games on it.
yeah. I'm
They're
gonna look
like
that up
they're like
because I have
$30.
those two Game Boy games and I haven't played them yet.
They're $30. The Super Game, the thing that you put the Game Boy game in.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so
Thanks for the
you
heads
got
up
to
on
play
that.
them though. At least on Game Boy, you got to play the one. The
Yeah,
second one is not that good, but the one I had I showed is really fun, man.
right on. All right, guys. So, the very last one, coming with the big top clobber.
Yeah, the best purple card figure in my opinion, hands down, because
Sonic the Clown.
you've got the real hair stuff going on there.
I mean, that's exactly why I like this one better than the Mattel re-release.
Yeah.
Is like you said, the freaking hair. I
Funny,
like the fact.
as a kid, I hated this figure because I didn't like this hair. I wanted it plastic as a kid, but as an adult,
Hmm.
I'm like, what was I thinking? This is amazing.
No, man, like the hair to me, that's special about this figure. But I mean, the hands. I hate the fact that whenever you find a Doink online, the fingers are always busted off. So that
Yeah.
drives me nuts. It is so hard to find Doink the Clown with all of his fingers.
Mm,
And if you're trying to find Doink with all fingers on eBay, you're going to pay up for him
yeah.
because and if he's got a working action, his arms are strong for a loose figure, again, you're looking at 60, 70, $80 probably for a loose figure. If you could find one cheaper, like if you send somebody an offer they accept, you get one for like 30, 40, $50 for and you have one that's relatively minty. My God, count your blessings. You just
I
gotta
just
steal the
sold
deal.
I just sold a loose doink last year. All his fingers were intact. His paint was near perfect with the card back for $40.
Yeah, I think I did the same recently, but that's because I've had it up for like 60 for like $75 and it wasn't selling. I think I dropped to like 60, wasn't selling. And it was like I said, it was perfect. And
When
I
I
think I
op-
eventually
when I
just accepted
opened
offer for
him,
40 bucks.
I when I opened him off the card, I said I don't need two loose, so I'll sell the other one.
But that to me, that was more about just making a sale and earning some money because hey, you got bills. You're just wanting to make a quick
Yeah,
sale,
yeah, that's
and I was more interested in getting profit than trying to make all the profit. You know what I
yep,
mean?
same here. Yeah.
So even though I know a minty doink is worth a whole lot more,
Hmm.
sometimes you gotta take what you can get. Now, do I know if I waited and was patient would I've gotten it? Of course, because
Right.
that's the value of a minty doink. It's $60+. But generally, whenever you get Doink the Clown, like I said, his fingers, usually the insert, maybe insert two or three fingers are missing, and even then, you're still paying anywhere between $15 to $25,
Mm.
and that's with two or three broken fingers.
Usually, too,
So
his rooted hair is all over the place or smashed
yeah,
down too. So it's hard to find one where it's still like permed up in like a little ball there like this.
yeah. So think about that: $15, $20 for where his fingers are like maybe like
Yeah,
this or
yeah.
something.
Um,
Yeah, so it's a valuable figure, and Doink is one of the coolest freaking figures out there. I love the fact that they made him. Obviously, Doink would have been released in 1995 on Orange Card in Series 12. Had Hasbro continued with the contract, and had they continued on with the line. Now, when Mattel Creations came out with, I believe it was Wave 3, aka Mattel Retro Series 13, and do I have it over there? I'm not gonna grab it, but or should I grab it? Nah, I won't. Forget it. But they did come out with the Orange Card series, and they did come out with the Doink the Clown in orange. So they did give you kind of like the good guy Doink the Clown. So
and speaking of that, these were supposed to be on an orange card, and they were going to release him again in a different paint scheme. It would be the
yeah.
same figure, but he would have had like that orange colored
And
paint and all that stuff. So
in fact, I did grab my booklet. I'm gonna go grab that real quick because I want to give a little recap about some of these figures and see what it says.
sure. Oh boy, I'm tired today.
All right, folks. So we are almost an hour, and we are almost complete with the review, or pretty much we are done. I just wanted to go over Series 9. Just kind of let you know what Greenville Nash has to say about this series. So let's see if anything special kind of sticks out. So, about Rick Steiner in particularly, Rick Steiner was originally meant to have a Jim Neidhart torso and a Macho Man legs. This was changed to Greg Valentine torso and Demolition Crush legs. The studs can be felt on the trunks. Let's see. As we know, Scott Steiner, as I mentioned, is a repaint of the Series 3 Mr. Perfect. We already know this.
I'm gonna put this back.
Uh-huh. The 1994 Hasbro Toy Fair catalog prototype was painted in a dark purple. This was changed to the light pink seen in the retail release. So once again, your Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner. Tatanka. This is the one that obviously I'm pretty sure a lot of people have questions about. And Tatanka is a re-release for Series 6. Or re-release for Series 9, I'm sorry. There are no noticeable changes when compared to the Series 6 figure. Tatanka was a last-minute replacement for the canceled Mega Maniacs Brutus Beefcake. And do I have one up there? I don't. Again, I'm going to grab that one for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have loved to have got that Mega Maniacs repaint.
So, this is the original Series 9. What should have been the original design for Series 9. Brutus Beefcake was a Series 3 in white pants, right? And his Mega Maniacs would have been the re-release in Series 9 with repaint.
Who
But
painted that? They did a really good job, man. Wow.
this one
I
is
need one of those, man.
This is a Robert Jackson custom.
You did good. Really good. Looks better than the prototype that's out there that Matt Cardona has.
Amen. So obviously, I think Bruce Beefcake was already out of WWF. I think he was in WCW by that point, if I'm not mistaken.
He was in WCW.
Probably as the Renegade by that point. I don't know. Actually, I've seen Brutus Beefcake as the Renegade. He actually didn't make a bad Ultimate Warrior. Actually, as a Ultimate Warrior copycat, he actually looked really good with the hair all up and everything. The face paint, and everything was really crappy. But that to me, I think as a kid, I probably would have got a kick out of that. I think he made a really fun Ultimate Warrior copycat, if we're being honest. But Tatanka was a last-minute replacement for the canceled Mega Maniacs Brutus Beefcake figure. The Hasbro Toy Fair catalog did not show Tatanka as part of the Series 9. And let me get you to the actual catalog here. 1 second, guys. So, this is your original Series 9.
Yeah.
With Brutus Beefcake as the original Series 9 release.
Doink even looks a little different. Like his legs, like his pants and stuff, his knee pads.
Well,
Are
if
they
you look
white?
at Doink is like all green.
Yeah, his knee pads are white, or I don't know what. I guess that's knee pads instead of all red. Huh.
Yeah, but like Doink was like an all green character, and when he was released, his color scheme was like completely altered.
That prototype Doink, I wonder if anybody's got that. Does anybody know if that's in anyone's collection, or is it still missing?
I think Matt Cardona has the original prototype, if I'm not mistaken, because Matt Cardona seems to have everything.
Yeah, but I mean that exact one in that picture. Cardona doesn't have that. He has the orange painted one that would have been in the orange card.
I don't know, but I think something
that the prototype that would have been on the orange card. He doesn't have that one.
He doesn't. I would have imagined he does, but even the Rick Steiner looked completely different in the picture.
I didn't even notice that. Hold it up one more time.
Let me go back to that page.
I was too busy looking at the Doink because that looked really different to me. From the waist down, at least.
Well, the Doink is different, but look at Rick Steiner.
Oh yeah, he's different from the waist down a little bit too. I mean, I guess his singlet's a little different, but not.
But his singlet, the colors of his singlet and the design of the singlet is completely different.
Yeah, the design. I'm trying to look at my Rick Steiner now. Is his boots red? Yeah. Red and black knee pads. What are they? Red and red knee pads. Boots red, knee pads red.
Well, the boots, but
no, black knee pads. I don't recall the white though above the boot on the figure that they did release.
Well, the boots are different with the white, but I mean, look at
White
the
laces.
singlet though.
Yeah, the boots have white laces and not all red. Look at the what?
The the design on the singlet is completely different.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Still kind of the same coloring, but just different design.
All right.
Alrighty then.
So $1 Million Man, just a repaint or remake of the Series 5 Hogan, so no change there. And that's pretty much all of your. Oh, wait, I missed this. Doink the Clown. The 94 Hasbro Toy Fair catalog Doink prototype's legs were green and
Yeah,
white with red stars, and the boots were black with white soles. This was simplified to the all red pants and all black boots seen in the retail release.
yeah. His boots in real life he wore when he first became Doink were black, all black, and a white sole, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they were
I
all
kind of,
no, maybe they were all black. I don't remember if the sole was white on his first pair. I don't know.
so I like this because
Or were they
the
red?
the,
I don't remember.
the leg sculpt of Doink is the same one used for the unreleased Rhythm and Blues Greg Valentine, and this is the only figure to have real hair.
I wish I would have kept my carded Beefcake Series 1 that had on the back of there Rhythm and Blues. I'm so mad I sold that, man.
Hmm.
For people that don't know what I'm talking about, they were going to release Rhythm and Blues, and they didn't. And there's select few cards out there of the Brutus Beefcake Series 1 that still have on there coming soon Rhythm
Yeah.
and Blues, but it's really rare. I had one, but the card was rough. I traded
Yeah.
it to someone for like $50. I'm kind of mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would have held on to that sucker. But I
Yeah,
like this part. What you were talking about this earlier with Jim Duggan with the flag.
yeah,
So I kind of want to bring that part up again because I
yeah.
thought that was
It was
really
used in
interesting.
GI Joe first, right?
Yeah, it says a
Roadblock.
similar USA flag accessory was made for the Hasbro GI Joe figure,
Yep,
Gung
Roadblock.
Ho.
Oh, Gung Ho, not Roadblock. Gung Ho. Yeah, version 2 Gung Ho. I think it was 1990 Gung Ho or
Though
91.
almost, yeah, it
Huh?
says though almost identical in appearance, the GI Joe flagpole is too wide to fit into Duggan's
Yep,
hand.
yep. Mine's the Gung Ho version, so I had to use like a putty to hold it in his other hand. But it's the same flag, just a slightly fatter hole.
Oh man, Series 9. So once we get to Series 10, we're going to be looking at 10 figures. And I mean,
What's the next? So we're on. I always forget the series number. What series number is Purple Card?
Series 9?
Is it? Oh, okay, so the next series is that the dark blue series?
Yeah. So
Okay,
we're
and
going
then
back.
what series? Series 11 is green card.
Mm-hmm. And that's going
Okay,
to complete the Hasbro run.
okay, gotcha. For some reason, I feel like we already did the dark blue card preview.
Well, I mean, we did blue cards because the first 6 series are all blue cards.
No, I mean the dark one. I guess because we talked about John Gonzalez so much,
Yeah.
it feels like we already reviewed all that.
No,
But
but 10 figures, I mean, with Shawn Michaels having 2 figures in the series and Razor Ramon having 2 figures in the series, I mean, that's 4 figures right there. That's 4 out of 10. So,
mhm,
Bushwhacker is gonna have 2 figures, Head Shrinker is gonna have 2 figures, so that's 8 of the figures. And then of course Giant Gonzalez and Marty Jannetty is gonna wrap up the last 2 out of the 10. So
right.
I mean it's a good series.
Mm.
Not the best series, but it's definitely a good one. And at 10 figures, you finally get back into double digits with the releases. So, but
All right.
that is wrapping up Series 9. Kirk, unless you have anything else you want to bring up for today, or
Nah, man. Not nothing I can think of. just if you guys can check out the GoFundMe I had, I talked about at the beginning of the show. It's on my channel under my posts. I greatly appreciate that. And thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Well, special shout out to Kirk's Corner for always joining me for this weekly Hasbro review each week. Guys, definitely be sure to tune in next week, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, as we review Series 10. And of course, the following week, as we complete this series review with Series 11, the green cards. But we will not stop with the Series 11. We'll continue on as we review the wrestling rings, the miniature Royal Rumble figures, and you know what? We might even do wrestling buddies. I mean, pretty much anything that we can find that's Hasbro related. We'll kind of
Yeah.
continue that on in the following week,
Right.
and we'll pivot on to another line: LJN, wrestling supers, the WWE superstars, etc. Whatever we choose to move on next, but definitely be sure to follow in next week. And of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, please be sure to pivot on to Kirk's Corner and tune into some of his shows, especially some of his longer shows. Give him some watch hours and help him get monetized. It's really going to help him out a lot. He's
Well, if
got
you
the
guys can't find me, I think that it's Kirk's Corner 1983. But you
yep.
should be able to find me by just typing in my name in there, or maybe Matt can figure out how to link my channel when we go live. I don't know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, guys, and in the description, I also put his title at Kirk's Corner 1983 as well. If you would just, I don't know if you could just highlight it or something, maybe that would be a lot easier. But like I said, it should be really easy to find his channel. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching, for the comments. You guys make these live streams amazing every single time. And I always want to give a special shout out to you, the viewers. Would not enjoy making these without you guys. So we are going to close for now. And until next time, guys, thank you so much. Take care, everybody.
Take care. Peace.